We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Pisqueya, it is the spicy sweet with passion fruit hot sauce. Now, so back-to-back season 22s. As of this filming, which is early 2024, it is the only seasons. This is the latest season, 2022. I'm sure by the time this is posted, a new one will be announced. That's usually what happens in January. In fact, maybe even as soon as I finish filming this, the new season 23 will be up. I'm assuming they're doing another one. I don't know why they'd stop, but who knows? Not me. So this is after the blistered shishito and garlic from Angry Goat, which was the last Hot Ones specific video that I did. I try to do one of these a month, and until I'm caught up. I don't know if I've ever done two sauces for concurrent, from the same season back to back, but also in a progressive manner. The other one was a 2-slot. This is a 3-slot. I don't know why this is a 3-slot. It's not particularly hot, at least not for me, but definitely the shishito, that one had no heat at all. So kind of interesting their approach to a lot of these seasons, but let's get into it. So we have passion fruit, chili peppers, carrot, lemon juice, garlic, organic sugars, and kosher salt. Now, I don't like this trend of just putting chili peppers or hot peppers or something vague on the label. I see a lot of companies doing it, not just them. And I'm going to be honest, I really wish it would stop because I hate it. I get everyone's trying to be secretive and so on. This one said, where was it? It said something about, I think it was maybe on the website, forget pineapple, forget mango. Passion fruit is where it's at. Definitively for me, no, definitely not. And we will certainly be getting into that in the course of this. But I was just looking around, and so they're calling it, if they're making their reference to mango and pineapple, my initial thought is that, okay, they're probably habaneros in here. I don't think that's the case. It could be Scotch bonnets. It could be habaneros. It doesn't seem like it to me. There's also a Caribbean pepper, and I assume it is maybe even that. And I'm not super familiar with Caribbean peppers, so I don't know. I really hate it when sauce companies do this. I'm starting to see it a lot more, and I wish they would just stop it. Just put what pepper is on there. Like, why so secretive? Hot sauce has been around forever. It's like chefs, right? Gordon Ramsay and I can make the same dish. And I don't have the skill that he does, so his will probably be better. That, I feel like, would apply to anything in food, especially hot sauce. I don't know why they're so secretive about that. Anyway, let's take a look at it. So it's just, I don't like the look of this. This is this sort of orangey, I guess it's just, it's almost a darker sort of orangey towards brown. I don't love this color. You can see when I was pouring it, it's got some pulp to it, got some body to it. Pretty smooth. You can see it there in this white spoon that doesn't like things to be stuck to it. And, well, we might as well just bite the bullet and get into it. Well, so that, you can see how much of this I've used already. That was by far the best this sauce has been so far. So it might be, maybe the neck, that ounce or so it's in the neck is maybe an agitation issue. I got a lot of flavor of passion fruit there. Passion fruit has a very distinct flavor. It almost reads like an off note to me a little bit. And I can get some of the tropical vibe from it. I'm not a fan of sour sauces, and this actually tends a little bit towards the sour side, at least the early part of it did. That's lessening as I get into the bottle. I was going to say, I'm going to have this on the wings, and if it's not fantastic, I'm going to toss it. I think I'm actually going to finish this because that spoonful right there is actually quite good. I enjoyed that. No heat to speak of. Passion fruit, though, it does have an off flavor. So one of the most unfortunate sauces I had was the Bravado passion fruit and Manuka honey. And both Manuka honey and passion fruit have these off flavors. And that sauce sort of combined to make the worst of both worlds as far as that went. This one I actually do like a lot better. I like the notes of garlic and salt in here. Give it a really nice sort of umami, a little bit of umami and earthiness to it. I like that quite a lot. I don't know that lemon juice belongs in here. What's interesting about this is that there's no vinegar in here either, which is something I find, I assume that's why the lemon juice is there. With the salt is more of a preservative. It's really interesting. Very rarely do I come across hot sauces that don't have vinegar in them. So I guess it's kind of an anomaly there. This sauce is getting more interesting as I get into the bottle, so I do appreciate that. I still don't love this. I don't think passion fruit and me are a really good match. Certainly, it is never going to supplant either mango or pineapple for me. So let's have it on some stuff. We got some delicious Arby's here, and one of the things that they said to put it on was fish. And Arby's, very nicely, has just come out with a fish and cheddar Arby's. So we're gonna have it on fish and cheddar. I don't like tartar sauce. Tartar sauce and me are not pals. Wow, look at the size of this fish. Look at this. Look at it. Here's the bun. You see this? Look at it. This thing is enormous. Wow. You know, I don't say this a lot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed, Arby's. The Diablo Dare was out last January. Will it be out this January? I have no idea. I mean, honestly, I don't really care. I did the entire menu. You guys can check out that video in the restaurants playlist if you're interested in it. And I can't say I was super impressed with that whole thing. Alright, so we're just going to cover... man, I don't know about... oh, man, I don't know about this. This sauce is so hit or miss for me. But I guess we'll see how it does here. I mean, I might wind up binning this. But I didn't get any ketchup, so let's throw it on some fries and see how that is. This could be a really dumb mistake, but we'll see. So, in that In that Bravado video, the Manuka, I think it probably posted by the time you guys see this. But in that Manuka passion fruit video from Bravado, in fact, actually, I'll move it up. I'll make sure it's posted first, if it's not already. I mentioned an attribute. I homebrewed beer for quite a while, and there's an attribute if you happen to get what's called an infection in your beer. And it gets this really funky medicine-y taste. And I couldn't place where that was coming from. And then I read up on Manuka honey, which isn't necessarily super sweet honey. And I thought, well, maybe it's that. But then I had some actual Manuka honey that doesn't really have a whole ton of those attributes. But I'm reminded very strongly of it with this. And I don't like it. That association is bad. Believe it or not, I've actually had it in commercial beers before too. The most important thing in homebrewing is cleanliness. And you have to be super on point or you're going to get an infected batch of beer. So this is better. With all these other flavors, this isn't awful. With the cheddar and the batter and whatnot. I wasn't sure I was going to work with cheese. Hot sauce and cheese are really hit and miss. This I don't like. This I have ruined these fries. Surely if they were hotter, this would be better though. I just don't know. When I say I don't know, I just don't know if I am going to finish that bottle out or I guess we'll see how it does on wings. Sometimes the hot ones, hot sauces, the ones that are on the show, are not enjoyable on wings and I like them better somewhere else. So I'll pull them out after I do a wing thing. Because I try to make sure I do a wing thing for every single sauce that I review from the Hot One show. And often, the only reason I'm doing it is because it's on the show. And there's some sauces, like the Bravado Ghost Pepper Blueberry comes to mind, where the only place I do like it is on wings. So I keep it until, yeah, and the wing thing light up until it runs out, till the bottle's empty. And some sauces, I like in multiple applications. So I'll try to keep it in the rotation as much as I can. But I'll still pull it out and, you know, throw it on something I want to experiment with. All right. So, the Arby's fish and cheddar sandwich is phenomenal. Fantastic. For fast food, this is one of the better fish sandwiches I think I've ever had. At least partially because of their wonderful cheddar cheese sauce, though. I cannot lie. That is a pretty big component of things. As far as this sauce, I think ultimately passion fruit just isn't for me. I just don't. I don't like that off flavor to it, and this will sound weird, but it feels like I'm eating something wrong. Like it's something I shouldn't be eating. And that goes back, I think, to the just that association with, you know, infected homebrew beer. I didn't. It was very seldom that mine was infected, but the guy I brewed with, he had a little bit less luck because he wasn't quite as meticulous with things as I was. He would try to run the tubing a little bit longer, and there's only a certain point as a home brewer you can really get things clean. So for me, the tubing would be 2, maybe 3 batches at the most, and then I would toss it all and get new tubing. He would try to extend it a little bit beyond that, and I think that is where the issue kind of came from. But if you've had infected homebrew, you know exactly what I'm talking about, the sort of Band-Aid taste to it. And this is, it's too strong of a reminder for me, even though, you know, I've agitated this a lot. I just don't, I don't think that me and this are compatible ultimately. Me and passion fruit, I should say. Sometimes the flavor of this will be better. It'll be a little bit more intriguing, and I'll say, okay, I'm getting that passion fruit flavor, and it is a unique thing. Not a lot of people are using this, but I think not a lot of people are using this for a reason. You know, the other part is that it's sour. I don't like sour hot sauces. Like that's a thing that and for as much as I don't like them, boy, do I sure seem to run across them way too often. But I actively dislike sour hot sauces. And unfortunately, I've run into them way more frequently than I wish I would have. That much is for sure. This one is too far over on the sour side for me. So ultimately, we'll see how it does on wings. If it does well enough on wings, I'll probably go through the whole thing. I keep a really open mind as far as using it on as far as wings. Like that's one of my favorite things about the show is they branch out so widely into so many different areas that I might not have been inclined to go into otherwise. So a lot of value following that show around. I think you know, I love exploring stuff as a chili head and as a foodie. So that's a really strong appeal to me. But sometimes you come across things and, you know, there's no bad information, right? Information is, as long as it's actual information that's factual, is good to have. You know, and you learn something else about yourself, and that's how we grow, right? Right. So, anyway, I guess if you like passion fruit, this is a pretty good sauce to get. If you like sour hot sauces, probably worth the go. On a heat level, that would be the two main criteria because there's almost no heat in this. So I can't imagine chili heads any chili head being satisfied by this, but it is certainly a unique sauce, and I think we will leave it there. So this is the Pisqueya spicy sweet with passion fruit hot sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.